What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Sports Lovers, where we talk all things sports. I am your host on the channel, Grant Sullivan, and in today's video, we are going to be predicting the full slate of midweek MLS matches like we do weekly. We're going to be predicting the full slate of MLS matches, but first, if you guys are new to the channel, be sure to drop a like and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of the latest videos. Again, sorry, I've been super busy these last couple of days. We'll get a video out for you tomorrow and Friday as well. But regardless, let's go ahead and hop into the first MLS game of the day, which is Atlanta United taking on New York City. This is going to be a tough matchup in the standings. I believe they're really, really close. I think both of them are atop at the standings so far. But I'm taking Atlanta United. Number one, it's at home. We play great at home. We score goals at home with that 1-2 punch with Robinson and Almada. If Robinson is back from playing with the United States national team, then we should be able to get the dub against New York City. Moving on from that, you have the New York Red Bulls taking on Charlotte. Charlotte is just absolutely horrible this year. I don't know what it is, but they've won a couple games, but they're still absolutely horrible. I am sticking here and taking New York Red Bulls. They are at home. I'm going to take the Red Bulls here. Red Bulls like to attack. They like to play really good defense. I think if they just do that against a struggling Charlotte FC team, then they will take the dub on the road against Charlotte, or at home against Charlotte. Now, moving on from that, you got Orlando City and Philadelphia. This is one of the few road teams that I am taking here. I'm taking Philly here on the road. I think Philly is a tough team. They're always tough in the East. I think they're top 3 in the East right now in terms of points-wise as well. So, therefore, I am taking Philadelphia. I know they like to score a lot of goals. Orlando City usually is really, really bad when it comes to playing defense as well. And around this time of year is when they start to be on the decline as well. I am taking Philadelphia here on the road, hopefully to get the dub against Orlando City. Now, moving on from that, you have Montreal and Nashville. This is another one where I'm going to be taking the road team here. Nashville is going to win 1-0. It's going to be a very boring game, but I'm expecting Nashville SC to get the dub. I think they're the better team in this matchup. I think Montreal is struggling, if I want to say, but I think that Nashville is going to indeed take the dub here against a struggling Montreal team who needs to start finding their footing if they want to make the playoffs and stuff like that. But moving on from that, though, you got FC Cincinnati and Toronto. I'm going FC Cincy here. I think it's obvious that a lot of people are going to pick FC Cincy, if you guys even do MLS picks, but Cincinnati is the number one team in the East right now. They got an 8-point clear lead over the second team in the East, which I believe is actually Philadelphia Union. I'm sticking here and taking Cincinnati. They've been hot. I expect them to continue to stay hot against Toronto in the East, who's not very good. I expect Cincy, this is going to be a one-sided game. Number one, it's at home for Cincy. They like to score a lot of goals in their games. I'm taking FC Cincinnati here at home against a struggling Toronto team as well. Moving on from that, though, Houston Dynamo and San Jose. I'm going to go ahead and say this is a 0-0 draw. I don't know much about either of these two teams. Neither do I do the next 3 matchups either. But I'm going to say it's a 0-0 draw. I just think that I'm pretty sure both of these teams are at the bottom in the conferences. And I just think that it's going to be a 0-0 draw. If someone wins, great. Don't really care about that game either. Now, moving on from that, though, another team that I also really don't care about, St. Louis and Real Salt Lake. I actually believe Real Salt Lake is the better team here. I'm sticking here and taking Real Salt Lake to get the dub on the road. Again, another team that I think is going to take the dub on the road. I think they're the better team. I think St. Louis is struggling, if I'm not sure about that, but I think St. Louis is going to take the dub, or take the L at home, and I think Real Salt Lake will prevail. Now, moving on from that one, you got the Rapids and Vancouver. I don't know who to take here. This one is one of those ones where I struggled. I am going to take Colorado at home just because they're at home. I know Vancouver really likes to play good on the road for whatever reason, if I'm not mistaken. But I am expecting Colorado to get the dub at home as well. I think they're the better team, and I expect Colorado to get the dub at home. I think a lot of people are looking at this game and trying to figure out who to pick here This is one of those key ones of the matchup if you do prize picks or stuff like that as well. But moving on from that, you have Austin FC and FC Dallas. I believe these two are actually struggling in the conferences as well. I'm taking Austin FC here at home. FC Dallas, I haven't watched a lot of their games. I did watch Austin FC play against Atlanta or Cincy. I can't remember which one. And they looked really, really decent, actually. I'm sticking with my gut here. My gut tells me to go with Austin FC. So I'm going to take Austin FC here. Moving on from that, Portland and Chicago Fire. I am going to take Portland. I think Portland is the flat-out better team in this one. Now, I believe Portland is struggling. I'll have to go look at the standings after I make this video. But I believe Portland is struggling a little bit. So I'm going to take Portland at home, though, just because I think Chicago Fire is worse than Portland. So I'm taking Portland at home on the road. 2 more matches, then we're done with both LA teams playing at home as well. The first one, LAFC, Seattle Sounders. This one's going to be a phenomenal game. I can already tell that this one is going to be one of those ones to watch this week. LAFC is struggling, but somehow this game always ends up to being really, really good for whatever reason. I'm taking Seattle Sounders on the road. I think I'm taking 4 road teams this week, which is shocking to me. I'm taking Seattle. I think LAFC is struggling, but I'm going to take Seattle on the road. I just think they're the better team here. Now, moving on to the final game of the week, LA Galaxy and Sporting Kansas City. I believe Sporting Kansas City is really, really bad, if I'm not mistaken as well. But I am going to be taking LA Galaxy here on the road as well. Yeah, correct. I just looked at the standings. Correction. LAFC and Seattle are both really, really good. That's good. Again, phenomenal game. It's going to be a great game. 28, 29 points as well is what I'm looking at right now too. I'm taking LA Galaxy though against Sporting Kansas City. I think they'll get the upset. They're not far behind in the standings as well, but I'm taking LA Galaxy to get the upset over Sporting Kansas City. But that is going to be all for today's video. Let me know what you thought of the video in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Turn that bell on. We try to post daily other than yesterday's video. I don't know what was wrong with my phone. Just couldn't get it downloaded. But regardless, we post every day. And that is going to be all for today's MLS Midweek Predictions. And I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.